Welcome back. We're joined by Chad Kritzas, our real estate expert from HomeStar. Actually, HomeSmart Real Estate. Chad, welcome.
Nice.
We actually have HomeStar Mortgage who comes on the show too, so you guys are very close, and I always bother myself with that, and I know I'm going to mess them up. So
Steve and I kind of look alike.
not really. But so before we kind of jump into some numbers, can you kind of tell us what have been your personal experiences right now, the first 2 or 3 months of the year? What have you seen compared to last year? What's it looking like?
I think we're seeing an even lower amount of inventory than we've been seeing historically. We've been having this conversation for years now. I mean, the Board of Realtors now has announced it's basically less than 1 month's supply of inventory on the market, which is, if no other homes hit the market, how long would it take for the homes to sell that are on the market? So we're at 1 month, which is a complete pin line to a seller's market.
Wow. All right, so I know we have some statistics. If we can pull the slide up here, if you can kind of give us some updates of where we're at, we'll take a look here.
Okay, so single-family sales are up 5%. They'd been down over the last few months because of the lack of inventory, and prices are up 10% year over year. Then when you look at the condo market, sales are up 2% and prices are up 20%. And then the multifamily market, which we've been talking about for months, sales are up 17% and prices up 21% in the multifamily investor market. So that's a huge number, and that number, month over month, when we have this conversation, has been really high.
Yeah.
So,
can you talk a little bit about that? So, what can you see? Maybe some of the reasons being that is being a hotter topic, not topic, but a hotter selling point than what others have been. Why is that on the rise?
So I think what you're seeing a lot of is you're seeing people that have had second homes or rental properties are finding that this is the time. Obviously, with 1 month's supply of inventory, this is a great time to capitalize on the income that is going to generate. You know, if they bought it for $200 and they're selling it for $700, you're making a $500,000 profit margin on, say, 5 years. It's a pretty good number. So if the market does in fact change or shift, like we may talk about, you know, this is probably a great time for those people to capitalize on what their home has done the last few years.
All right. When it comes to those investment properties, so you're saying that at this point, they can't squeeze any more interest rates, like they're not refinancing anymore, right? So they don't see really a future in saving any money there. They're kind of saddled with what they have, and now they're making that decision, hey, you know, let's sell that. So I'm going to jump ahead this because we're on it right now, but we had talked about this before, that when you do have an investment property and you go to sell it, that there are ways in which you can protect yourself from some different difficult tax rates that, you know, if you, in that scenario, you got a $500,000 gain, I mean, I can't even imagine what the taxes would be. What is a way around that, you know, to try to avoid some of that?
So the 1031 exchange is a way that you can sell your property and take the funds and adjust it to another property or send it to another property. The way it works is you have to have an intermediary company that takes the funds at the closing, and then you have X amount of days to identify subject properties and then X amount of days to close on the subject properties. You know, I had a client once that went to a closing and said, well, I'm going to take this money and 1031 it, and this was 20 years ago, but I just remember the lawyer looking across the table and saying, you can't do that. This has to all be set up in advance. The properties have to be identified. But you could take that $500,000 profit that we're using as a number and just put it down on another property and not pay the tax on it. It's called the deferred tax.
Okay, so in the case, and I think I do know this number, that if you didn't live there, you could be paying taxes upwards of like 28%.
Right.
Which is extremely high on, let's say, a $500,000 gain. You're looking at about a $140,000 tax bill.
Right.
So this is a way that if you said, listen, I want to get out of that house, but maybe I still want real estate, and I don't want to lose 140, there's a way to kind of swap that out.
Correct. And as long as it's some sort of rental, I mean, you could sell an apartment building and buy a commercial building or vice versa.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily have to be exact. It's not, they say a like-kind exchange, but it doesn't really mean it has to be apartment building to apartment building. Okay. You know, if you were going to buy 5 condos, you were going to rent out. You know, there's, as long as it's basically an investment property, that's the way you look at it. It's not, you can't do it with your house and then say,
right. I want people to realize that you don't do that with your own. And on that side, you do have an exemption of a $250,000 growth personally if you're married, $500,000. So you know, there's a lot of protection in there to avoid that gain. But getting back to that 1031 exchange, you know, in my mind, I'm always like, how do you find the perfect house? If I have a house worth 700 and I find a house worth 700, what if I find something that's actually less, but I want to swap it out and I say, hey, I found something for 500, but now there's still $200,000 left over. Can I still do it?
You could actually, so you could either buy 2 properties and put that extra 200 to something else, or you pay tax on the differential. So if the 200,000, you might pay taxes on. But the tax burden on 200,000 is going to be a heck of a lot less than 500,000. So sometimes it's still worth it. Now the other idea too is maybe you're looking at something in Florida, right? You want to get away in the future and you want to invest in something now. I mean, you could sell in Rhode Island and buy in Florida. Okay. It doesn't have to be, you know, in the same town or state either.
So if someone, let's say this appeals to somebody right now, and they're listening, and and I know it's out there, but it is one of those things where you're digging a little deeper. It's not on the surface of real estate in general, but it is another layer deeper because there's some complexity towards it.
It is.
How would you actually start that process? Would it be with a real estate agent, an accountant? Who would that be with?
A real estate agent, a real estate lawyer would have a contact. What you want to do is you want to connect with, one, you need to talk to your real estate agent because you need to find out what your home is worth, right? 'Cause if there's, if you're not worried about the tax burn, then it doesn't really matter. But then there's a 1031 companies. I mean, I personally, when I did it last summer, I sold 2 and bought 1, and I used a company out of Ohio that my lawyer had suggested that I meet up with.
So they actually have everything, like it's turnkey in a sense, so you could go to them and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking of doing, I've identified my properties with my real estate agent, and then they can kind of take care of the transactional process, and they're like that intermediary. So that's kind of where someone would maybe start with their real estate agent and then get someone like that involved.
Exactly, and I thought their cost, I won't use any numbers, but I thought their cost for doing was, versus looking at the tax application, very reasonable. Yeah. So it's definitely a way for investors in this market. We're saying that multifamilies are up 21%, and you want to sell that house and buy something else. It's a good time. You can move money and kind of defer the taxes.
All right, let's twist the gears a little bit and move a little bit to a different area. And what I was ultimately asking is buying versus renting at this point in time. Prices are so high, interest rates feel like they're locked in, if any, not locked in, but they're not going any lower.
Right.
For a new home buyer, what are you seeing, and what is kind of your recommendation? What should be a thought process if someone is thinking of renting versus buying?
Well, I think perspective, we've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this a while. I think you have been as well. I mean, the rates in the 4% are not, it's not wild. I mean, we got spoiled, post-COVID with a little, 2.9, 3.2% interest rate. Yeah. That is not normal. A interest rate in the 4s or the 5s is normal, and that's, I bought my first house, it was in the 8s. Then it was good. So, I think you got to put the interest rate in perspective, and we mentioned the mortgage guy that's on the show as well, and he can talk more to that. But, just because the interest rates went up a point doesn't mean that the sky is falling, first off. Renting, the rental market is just as tough as the sale market right now. The prices on rentals are, one bedrooms, $1,500 in Newport, $1,600 for a 1-bedroom apartment. So if you can afford to buy something or qualify to buy something rather than pay somebody else's mortgage, you're always better off being a homeowner than a tenant. Because if you're a tenant, you're just paying someone else's mortgage for them. Yeah. So, I always recommend if you can do it. The rental market is, even the winter rental market locally is just wild, the prices people are paying. Because they have to. Yeah.
All right, another thing that we had talked about that I thought was kind of interesting is, hey, this market right now, like getting back to the individual buyers and sellers for your personal residence for the most part, a lot of people are still saying the inventory is incredibly low, as you have said, and people have to, there's a circumstance which maybe they've never seen before, if you've never seen before. What are you seeing that's out there that people have to do that you're like, never seen this before, but people want these properties and they need them? What's happening out there that might be unique?
We had a gentleman in the office last week. He had listed a $330,000 house in Pawtucket. I think they had 14 offers. 3 of them were over $400,000, waiving inspections, waiving contingencies. The new one I haven't really seen, I've just seen recently, is that, let's say you're listing that house for $330,000 and you're paying $400,000, but then the bank appraiser comes in and says, well, it's only worth $385,000. This buyer in this particular deal agreed up to a certain amount to pay the differential between the appraisal and the sale price. So I've never seen that
because
before.
they can't borrow that extra $15,000, is that what you're saying?
So the bank's only going to give you what the appraiser says it's worth, right? They're coming in with their
so
spreadsheet.
They may say, hey, I had X amount to put down, now I got to actually put down more because it's totally outside of my loan to value or whatever it would be.
Right. And if they have the means, you don't have a lot of first-time home buyers going to be sitting on an extra $15,000 or $20,000, but it's a contingency that's coming up now, and in 23 years, I've never seen that before. Wow. But these bidding wars are, were so wild. 1 month of inventory, you think about that, $330,000, you have 14 offers. It's just a wild number.
Where are these buyers coming from? Are they, a lot of times in my mind, I'm like, well, are they moving internally and upgrading, the house that they have, or are we getting, and I always think this, and I think you shut me down, you say that's not really the truth, but I keep thinking, hey, Boston's so expensive, people are like, well, I can get to Boston in 35 minutes from Providence, so why don't I just live in Providence for 25% less or something like that? Like, are there outside people coming in doing that? What do you, and again, as a sampling, what are you seeing?
We're seeing a combination of both, right? Because the other side of it is, and jokingly, but who goes to the office anymore? So we just sold a house in Newport for $600,000, and the couple said, well, I can't believe how cheap this is. how cheap this is, really? But they were coming out of Boston and selling a studio apartment for 1.1.
Yeah.
So to them, you know, they had a three-bedroom house, they had a yard for the dog, they had off-street parking, and they're working from home. So like, well, I don't need to be down the street from my office anymore when I can work from home and Zoom and do everything else that we now do these days.
Yeah.
So you're seeing a lot of that, but now you're also seeing that first-time home buyer, which is very difficult. You know, we saw a house came on this morning for $299, and I got a phone call immediately leaving my showing this morning. And I said, well, you know, the price isn't going to be $299. I promise you that.
Yeah.
But you know, he said, well, you know, VA financing. And then I looked and had a 7-year-old septic system, peeling paint, a mold disclosure. I'm like, well, that's not going to qualify for a VA or an FHA. You know, so you got to. But that's a first-time home buyer house, or that's a flip house now, because a ranch is now $500,000.
Yeah.
So you're buying it for $299, you're putting 75 in and selling it for $5.
All right. As we finish up, you know, I kind of want to say, you know, we're entering this spring market, which I assume is pretty hot, and maybe even the summer. And let's not talk about a seller, because I think we're kind of at the mercy of the sellers.
Yes.
If you're a buyer, what would you recommend? Like in my mind, do you try to get on it right now? Do you try to wait? Is a lot more appealing stuff going to come on the market? What do you think if I came to you and said, hey, Chad, you know, I'm actually thinking of purchasing a house today? What should I do? Should I wait? Should I go?
So usually, right, in typical years, you get a 10% or 15% inventory flux in the spring. Like everybody says, oh, my grass is green, I just mulched my beds, now I'm going to sell my house. So sellers don't need to wait for that. So you get on it now and you stay on it, because if the interest rates do go up, you know, you're at the lower rate.
Yeah.
And just keep watching every morning on what's coming up on the market. You know, you got to have a good agent that calls you and says, hey, I just saw.
But don't wait is I guess what I'm looking for, right?
Right.
It's time
I mean,
to
who
jump
knows
on.
what this is going to do?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if the interest rates stay down, you might as well.
Yeah, great. All right, as always, thank you for a great conversation. Appreciate it. When we return, we are going to talk about the market and what you should be doing with your portfolio. Stay tuned.